Yesterday sucked. My mood was very, very low, and I think sometimes it's very hard to see the good things, and people can remind you all the time that you're okay, you're safe, they care about you. But sometimes that's not enough, and that's not the other person's fault, it's just the way it is sometimes. Sometimes you cannot make it better, you can't just say things and magically the person will feel better, because that's not realistic, it's not life. And I guess I'm starting to realise why I'm in here. I'm starting to realise why hospital was forced upon me last week. When it actually happened, I was shocked because I felt like I could manage in the community. I felt like I'd pleaded for a hospital admission over Christmas and I got nothing. I felt angry, I felt frustrated, I felt like, why now? When I don't want a bed, you're giving me a bed. When I don't think I need it, you're forcing it upon me. When I say I'm going to go involuntary, you do a mental health act assessment anyway. You know, when you just think you have to take a few breaths and get perspective on the situation. And I guess hoarding morphine and overdosing on codeine isn't a sign of someone managing well in the community. The problem is, though, I'd been doing that for weeks and my team were aware. So I didn't really see a problem, I don't think. But that might be just me, I'm not sure. I felt like it was normal. Like, I was drinking about 2 litres of vodka a night, and I only did it to knock myself out. I did it to try and stop the nightmares, but the nightmares always came anyway. And things just spiraled. I don't even know when things tipped over the edge of like managing and not managing. I think I've been struggling since Christmas, since I was attacked and my ribs were broken. I've been struggling, and I guess I don't really know how to describe what it's like to be forced into hospital under a mental health act when you've already said you're going voluntary. It's freaking frustrating because it's like, hang on a minute, like, I said I'd come in. I'm not going against what you said, yet you still section me. Like, I'm sat here sectioned in hospital, which is fine. Well, it's not fine, but you know what I mean. And like, patients can be scary, but patients can be nice too and welcoming, and you kind of create your own little family here, which is quite nice. I'm one of the youngest, so kind of well looked after by some of the older patients, which is quite nice, which, you know, I never really feel outside. Like, sometimes with suicide, I do crave it because I look at some of my friends and I'm like, they have a mum and they have a dad and they have brothers and sisters, and yes, they argue and fight, but they stick together when needed. Like, I never had that. I've always wanted a mum, and by that I mean a proper mum who would protect me and would instill in me values and respect, and instill in me that my body is mine, and that I should be treated with respect by men, rather than my mum teaching me that it's okay that my dad had sex with me. But yeah, I just don't really know where I'm going with this. I'm just kind of saying, you know, sometimes suicide is attracted to me, and I don't want you to kind of list all the things that are like there to live for, because I don't care. You try losing your whole family and then come back to me and say that you are not suicidal. I'd be shocked. Sometimes I just think, why not just get it over with? And that's a really morbid thought, but the pain of living and being so lonely is soul destroying. Like, I end up crying myself to sleep most nights because I stare at pictures of my family and I want them back, and I know that I screwed it up big time by reporting my dad, and that was my first mistake. And then my second mistake wasn't stopping it, because my mum said that she'd have me back if I stopped it, but I didn't. So that was my second mistake. And it makes me so sad, because if I hadn't made those mistakes, I could still have them. And that's what makes me so suicidal sometimes, because I'm like, if I can't have them, I don't want to be alive. And people tell me they're awful people, but they're not. They are people like you and me who make mistakes, and I love them. And they're not awful. Like, I love my twin Jess, and I love my older sister, but they've not been there for me. They chose my dad, which I knew they would. But it still hurts. Like, Emma's getting married soon and I'm not invited, which is her prerogative, like, that's her choice. But it's just one of those things where it's just like, I don't get to see my sister walk down the aisle. And like, say one day, if I get through this and I get married to someone, I won't have anyone to walk me down the aisle, and that's what depresses me. And like, that's why I get scared of relationships sometimes, because I'm like, I can't exactly introduce them to my family. Like, I'm it. And that's what makes me sad sometimes, because I'm like, if I have children, they won't get to see their grandparents. Like, I don't know if I could live with that. And like, I've been pregnant before, had an abortion, but that's a long story. But I don't know if I had children again, I'd want them to have a grandparent on my side, and they won't. And they won't have an Auntie Jess, and they won't have an Auntie Emma, because they hate me so much for embarrassing the family. And this is why I feel like I have no life. And this is why most of the time I do want to kill myself. And last night I did try. And it didn't work, obviously, and it makes me upset. It makes me angry. It makes me so frustrated, because I know a lot of people care and a lot of people love me, but it's not the same. It's not the same. And friends come and go, people come and go, but usually you can count on your family. I guess I don't really see a way out of this. I see revolving door patient. I see me in and out of hospitals until I actually kill myself. And that's the truth. And I hate it.